have what brings us all together. I give you Breen Sullivan.
So about a year ago, I was asked to help incorporate this industry-specific investment fund. And I was happy to do it, and I was also excited to be connected to something so cool. And then it hit me that these are a bunch of men, and they are going to invest in a bunch of early-stage companies with founders that really remind them of themselves, inevitably a bunch of men. And this actually makes a ton of sense, because the men with the money who have started the fund, they know that they can use their considerable influence and their connections within that industry to essentially guarantee a return on the investment that they're going to see in those early stage companies. So that's wonderful and that's awesome, but why am I filing the paperwork? Where do I find the platform or the structure or the organization where we can ensure a return on the investment that we can make in each other? I couldn't find it. I'm guessing that is why over 100 people have RSVP'd to be here right now tonight, because I'm not the only one who can find it. So, without further ado, Aparna Srinivasan, CEO and founder of Spot On.
Thank you guys for being here, braving the rain. But let's be honest, none of this would be possible without Breen. Woo! I met Breen at that event that she went to, the non-attorney event that she went to. I was actually a panelist on that event as a founder. I'm a founder and CEO of Spot On. We are a ride-hailing marketplace for pets and the people who love them, live in New York City. After I heard Breen and that little seed of an idea that she had, I just knew that I had to be a part of this. Because again, she said game-changing. It's game-changing. So much so that a simple article was written in a legal magazine. An executive at a major pet brand read that article, reached out to me, and we've been cultivating a relationship, and that relationship has been game-changing for Spot On. Why? Because it's going to propel us to the next level. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, our co-founder, who's a GC, or former GC, of Etsy and Vroom, and also a great messenger. She'll get that.
Again, thank you so much. So I was the first lawyer at Etsy. I was there for over 9 years. I helped take the company public, and then I went to join Vroom as its first lawyer. And throughout those years, I realized that lawyers are not lawyers. When we're in-house, we are strategic business partners, and we are helping a company scale. And I realized that my role as a lawyer, I could help other companies scale the same way. And so I talked to Breen about her idea, and I just was like drawn into it because I thought, yeah, I've been pushed in the corner as pigeonholed as this risk-averse lawyer, and really I'm here to help companies scale the same way that I've done for two companies.
Yes. And in fact, there are countless organizations that exist right now today that did not exist 5 years ago. Organizations that can be leveraged for us to build our own self-contained ecosystem where we can ensure an investment that we can make in each other. So welcome to the fourth layer ecosystem. Okay, so we see 4 distinct groups. Founders, they can provide a legal executive the opportunity to serve as a strategic advisor, to ideally act as an advisory board member in exchange for an equity stake or not. They also provide the opportunity for legal executives to start to build a portfolio of their own through angel investing and act as an advisor in that capacity. Legal executives provide this critical growth advice that early stage founders need. Like for instance, we can help early stage companies avoid the top 5 reasons why startups fail, which tend to be legal in nature. And we can also lend credibility. Credibility with investors, and we can also connect those early stage founders, not all the time, but some of the time, if it's the right legal executive, with game-changing business opportunities for those early stage companies. Strategic partners are critical to the success of this ecosystem, and this ecosystem can help those strategic partners thrive. It is a nuanced category, so to explain, So it includes some organizations that will support us by hosting our events like tonight and like the cohorts. They also will help us by sourcing the right industry leaders from amongst their illustrious client base. So they're doing their clients a favor too. And this also includes organizations that will amplify this message across their large member base so that the fourth floor can grow and strengthen in number. And it includes organizations from the entrepreneurship life cycle like incubators and accelerators and funds that can provide material benefit to their founders and in turn can provide us with a stable of unicorns that we can then invest in. So you guys are probably wondering, how is it that we ended up with Debbie speaking tonight at this launch event for the fourth floor? And I actually have to tell this story because it really is proof of concept in many ways for the fourth floor, because Debbie is an industry leader of mine in my network. And so I reached out to Debbie and I asked for some advice. And Debbie was like, well, what is it that you really want to get out of this night? And so I thought about it. It was just like the right question, really the right question. And I realized what I want is for everyone in this room to have that moment where it's like the big reveal. You know, where you just feel like, oh, okay, like I can just jump in and pick something up and actually grab hold of this and have a difference in my own life. And so that's what we wanted all of you guys to feel. And so then Debbie was like, how would I come in and I'll do this amazing networking activity and I'll spotlight people in the crowd. And we were like, yes, please, thank you, come to be our speaker. Anyways,
and what we're going to do is just breathe a little life into what you've heard and sort of see the actual benefit, these 4 benefits that Breen and Sarah and Aparna have talked about so eloquently. So I want to call on a few of the people who've already partaken in the fourth floor and ask you really 2 questions, each of you. And one is, what is the benefit that you bring to the fourth floor? And what is the benefit that you can give to the fourth floor? The idea is, why are you here? You're all very busy people. Why have you invested? So I want to start with Julie Kinch, who's Senior Vice President and Chief Legal Officer at Heineken.
So for me, I've been in a very traditional role of big New York City law firm, very corporate. And I'm at a stage in my life where I'm thinking, okay, what's next for me and what can I do that's a little bit different and maybe giving back a bit. And I've not ever been in this space of startups. And it's super exciting to think that I hopefully have some things that I can, some experience that I can bring and value I can add. But I think also for me, expanding my own knowledge and experience, you sort of feel like after 25 plus years of working, like, have I done it all? And it's a whole area that I know very little about. So for me, it's sort of that interesting magic that can come together.
One of the things that I've seen as a GC is that startups have these open board seats that they don't fill. And I think it's a terrible waste. And so when I was talking to Breen about it, when she was mentioning the idea to me a few months ago, I said, this is brilliant because you're enabling founders of companies to start looking for their independent board members way in advance. And it's so valuable. So I am a founder of a company, so I'm definitely looking to fill my advisory board right now. Hopefully,
You're going to have a really long list.
So ClearUps is a privacy technology company, so we're very focused on privacy and security, so that's kind of where the synergy would be if I was to get someone on the advisory board, but I certainly want someone that I can eventually bring into the full board as an independent woman to the board, and I think it's extremely valuable.
Hi, I'm Kristen Mendoza. I am a corporate M&A partner at Kirkland & Ellis. The reason that I'm here is because I'm one of Breen's best friends. We met when we were 17 in college, and anything that she's doing, I wholeheartedly believe in. But more concretely, I am here to be a strategic partner and will hopefully be sponsoring some of the cohort dinners that you guys are putting together. And my give, along with being a strategic partner and just hosting the dinner, will be including clients that I have and my partners have who are females and that are industry leaders in some of the industries that some of the members are focused in here. So I'm really excited to make those connections.
I am here on behalf of Left Tackle Capital. We are an asset management seed accelerator, which means that we are changing the flow of capital in this country. To Sarah and Breen's point, we want to ensure that diverse and emerging fund managers are able to allocate the trillions of dollars in assets that are managed within this country that today only 1.1% of women and people of color manage. But just in the same way that diverse and emerging fund managers are coming to us inbound, we also have just a slew of founders who are coming to us who are looking for this type of help. And I think it really shows not only this signal in the market, but the fact that people are really ready to raise their voices. And so, yeah, we're excited to just incite more collaboration around that.